Sewing in a straight line. How hard can it be? Turns out it's more difficult than it sounds. Here are my best tips for taking your sewing from wiggly to wonderful. I'm Narelle from Threadistry. The best thing you can do to sew straighter is stop watching the needle. There is something about that thing bobbing up and down that makes your fabric wibble and wobble all over the place. Instead, focus on a point at the front or side of your presser foot and use that as a reference point to guide your fabric. Secondly, don't fight the feed dogs. The feed dogs are the little teeth that rise and lower and pull your fabric through the sewing machine. Don't pull or push the fabric through the machine. Let the feed dogs do that, and you just gently steer the fabric. For straight seams, you should almost be able to sew with no hands if the fabric is well supported. Which brings me to my next tip. If you're sewing something bigger than the bed of your sewing machine, make sure the fabric is supported. If your fabric is just hanging down or even sitting on your lap, gravity can pull it to one side and you'll be constantly having to fight that natural pull. It's best to have your fabric resting on your table, both at the front and back of your sewing machine. Okay, so now you're sewing much straighter, but are your seams accurate? To get those seams spot on, you need a reference point to line up the edge of your fabric. The needle plate on your sewing machine has lots of lines and guides to help you with this, but if you struggle to follow which one's the right marking, here are some ideas to help. Use your presser foot as a guide. This is what I usually do. For my sewing machine, the inside edge of the presser foot is a 1/4 inch seam. The outside edge is 3/8 of an inch, and a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance has a bit of fabric off on the outside of the presser foot. Okay, that sounds really vague, but I know what it looks like. If you want that guiding point to extend a little bit further or stand out more, stick down a piece of washi tape or painter's tape and use that as a guide. Or you can look at using a seam guide to run your fabric against to get the perfect seam allowance. You can stick a magnetic seam guide to your needle plate and then guide your fabric along. A non-magnetic version is called Sewing Edge, and it's a reusable vinyl strip. If you want a DIY version, some people use a pad of sticky notes, or you could use blue tack and a Lego brick. There are also a couple of sewing machine feet that can help with sewing straight and accurately. A 1/4 inch quilting foot has an edge guide built into it to sew a perfect 1/4 inch seam. For something with a bit more flexibility, you can get an adjustable guide foot, where you can adjust the edge guide to get just the right seam allowance for your project. Another tip to sew straighter is just take your time. Notice when you're starting to get off track, stop, lower the needle into the fabric, lift the presser foot, and make small adjustments. And the last thing you can do to sew straighter is just practice. The more you sew, the easier it becomes, and soon it'll be second nature. And then it's time to master curved seams. If you found this helpful, please like this video and follow Threadistry for more sewing tips, tricks and tutorials. Happy sewing!